Hey guys, it's me, Lowry, the pretty POTSie, and I'm here in one of my favorite spots in my house, the kitchen. I have a little trick that I do in the kitchen. I always have a chair with me because when you have POTS, you can't stand up a lot. So I always have a chair. Sometimes I'll sit up on the counter when I'm doing things. Even I'll sit on the counter to stir a bowl. But I've got my chair here. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about one of the things that I do for my POTS, which is have a lot of salt. My doctor at Mayo, a neurologist, she recommended 10 grams of salt a day, which sounds insane to most people. They can't believe that I would even consider eating that much salt. But when you have enough water, the salt is actually not bad for you if you need it. I will say, I'm not a medical doctor, and there are people with high blood pressure that should not have extra sodium. But if your doctor recommends extra sodium for your POTS, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why it helps and what kinds of salt I have. And then I have a special drink I'll show you that I make. The reason that us POTSies need to have a lot of salt is because the salt mixed with extra water that we're drinking helps build our blood volume. And when we are standing and the blood is pooling in our legs and our feet, we're not getting enough blood in our brain. And so the more blood we can have in our body, the more blood there is to go around. And so all day long I have lots of water. I try to have 3 liters a day and lots of salt, and that helps my body hold on to the fluid, and it helps build my blood volume. Also with POTS, part of your autonomic nervous system is your sweat system. So a lot of POTSies lose extra salt during the day. So that's another reason why it's good to have extra sodium. I used to avoid salt. I always thought it made me feel bloated, gave me stomach ache. Now that I know how to have salt and the right way to do it, I believe that it really helps me feel better. And on the days that I feel really bad, I can load up on it. If I don't need it as much, some days I don't worry about it. And now I've come to love the taste of salt, and I want to salt everything that I eat. I will dip chocolate in salt. I will put salt on my butter. There's pretty much anything you could have salt on, I do. So I really enjoy it. I have a couple of salts that I really like. First I want to show you, this is iodized table salt, and this is sea salt. And I've told you earlier that all salt is not created equal. Iodized salt, table salt, has been processed a little bit more than sea salt, and a lot of the minerals have been taken out. Ounce per ounce, gram per gram, they have about the same sodium content, but I eat so much salt that I'd probably get an overload of iodine if I had all table salt. So I usually avoid iodized salt, and I like to choose sea salt. I like salt that sort of has a heavier, fluffier texture to it. I'll show you this one. This is it's really fluffy, kind of a thick grain, and it's really good when you want to put it on something to have a crunch. This is Colima sea salt. Good. I also have a coarse salt. This kind you can put in a grater, and then have fresh grated salt if you want. I have a friend who gave me this salt. I'm sure if you have POTS, you may have gotten salt as a gift. In fact, there should be a Salt of the Month club. I would be interested in that. Just trying different kinds of salt. This is Jacobsen Salt Company, and it's pure kosher sea salt. This is one of my favorites for cooking with. And then I just have a Himalayan salt in a grinder. And this is really fun. This is from a company called Salted, and you actually just take the salt rock and grate it. That's really fun. And then I got this at a specialty kitchen shop, and this is mesquite smoked sea salt, and it smells like barbecue. It's so good. It's one of my favorites. So just an idea, you can really get salt in a lot of different ways. You can sprinkle it on your food. You can put a little pinch on your tongue. You can put it on your desserts. People who have POTS also get salt in their electrolytes. So if you're having Propel, if you're having Nun tablets, if you're having Gatorade, all those also have some salt, and those help our bodies retain the water and build the blood volume as well. I'll do another video on electrolytes exclusively, so be sure to follow me for that. But I promised I would make a drink. This is my favorite way to get salt. I start every morning with soul water, and I make it myself, and it's pretty much costs nothing to make. I realize that I am running out, so I'm gonna let you guys watch how I make it. So soul water is essentially a very heavily dissolved concentration of sea salt. And I use pink Himalayan sea salt, and I use these big chunky crystals and diluted in water, and that's it. Soul water has a lot of benefits. It's a natural electrolyte, and it also can help detox your body. The salt can sort of hold on to heavy minerals that your body doesn't need and flush them out. It can help with clearing skin and improve your digestion as well. One of the things to remember about soul water is that you do not want to put it in a metal container or plastic. This will actually help your body to become more alkaline, which they say is a healthier state for your body to be in. And, sorry, I see salt on the table. Another benefit of this is if you have it on an empty stomach. So I usually have this first thing when I wake up, and then I don't have anything else for 30 minutes afterward to give it time to sort of flush through my body. And then my body holds on to the salt, and it's a nice electrolyte. So I have a little bit left, and you can see the pink in there. So this is the pink Himalayan salt. You're gonna put about a quarter of your bottle with the salt crystals. And I don't have a funnel. I'm just using a oval spoon. My husband does this as well, and he does not have POTS. This can be good for anyone. Once you have your solution made, it'll be ready tomorrow morning. People who do not have POTS, you just take 1 tablespoon of your solution, you mix it with 1 cup of water, and that's how you drink it. So it's very concentrated. I actually drink it plain. I'll just drink about a skosh, about this much in a glass every morning. But if you're watching your sodium levels, just have 1 tablespoon in a cup of water. If you have POTS. You know what's really funny? On days when I feel like I need more salt, things don't taste as salty to me. So if it tastes really salty to me, I don't drink much. But if my taste buds don't pick up on the salt as much, I believe that's my body's way of telling me that I need more salt. So let me just finish this. So you're gonna fill it about a quarter of the way. And remember, always use a glass jar. You wouldn't even want to use one that had a metal lid. Let me know other ways that you guys get salt. I'm always open to new ideas. Have you ever tried rolling a piece of cheese in salt? That's good. It's kind of fun to try to think of new ways to have it, especially when you have to have so much. Okay. So I usually have this in the morning, and then 30 minutes later I'll have my coffee. I drink fatty coffee with MCT oil, and that gives me a good burst of energy. And then after my coffee, I start drinking electrolytes. And I'll have one electrolyte drink, and then I'll have a big water after that, just to counteract any caffeine water loss from the coffee. All right. Okay, so I've got the crystals in here. You want to fill it up, like I said, about a quarter of the way. All right. And then all you do is fill it with water, and that's it. So I'll let this sit overnight. You will know it's ready when the suspension still has a few crystals of salt in the bottom, because you want it to be oversaturated. In the morning, if all of your salt crystals have dissolved, then you need to add some more. And it's as simple as that. So it's called Sole Water, S-O-L-E. So in the morning, when this has dissolved, there will be just a little bit of crystals left in the bottom, and that's how you know it's ready. And it's pretty. Pink is one of my favorite colors. So that's how you make Sole Water. Those are just some of my tips on salt and what kinds of salt to get. Have fun with it. Don't make it a chore, because then it just, you know, it can be like depressing, like, oh, I have to eat so much salt. I like to have fun with it, try different kinds of salt, and try to eat salt in different ways. But I do have my Sole Water every morning. I crave it right when I wake up, and I hope you will try it. Let me know what you think. You can't beat the cost of this. I think this whole container was like $9, and I have used this for like maybe 5 months. So it'll last you a long time. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and my next video I will be talking more about POTS and different remedies that I have, and I'll probably go into electrolytes more, how those work for us to help us feel better. I appreciate you watching and following me on my journey, and I am the Pretty POTSie.